All right, the main topic, which I know everybody kind of is talking about. So, the newest updates in voice AI. All this literally happened since the last time we did the show at the end of March. We did have to skip April. That's why we're doing this on May 2nd. But this happened within the last 30, 40 days maybe. I'm sure everybody heard about the producer going by the tag of Ghostwriter, literally creating AI track of The Weeknd and Drake putting out a song together. I guess he produced it. He must have wrote the lyrics because otherwise the AI wouldn't have done, the rapping and the singing. So that took the whole industry by surprise. Nobody knew what was going on. Before it got taken down by the labels and the distribution companies, it amassed 230,000 views on YouTube, 650,000 plays just on Spotify. We're not even talking about Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon Music, and all of that. And the guy Ghostwriter, he was able to grow I think it was like a 90,000 monthly listenership on Spotify. So he's definitely grew a fan base. He grew a page on TikTok with millions of views. I think hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok alone at this point. So we're going to talk about what that means, right? Was that the right thing to do? Another thing that happened, there was an Ice Spice track. Anybody heard that one? That was basically Drake voice remade Ice Spice lyrics. So that apparently really set Drake off. And he was like, all right, this is the last straw. That's what he posted. And then, on top of all of that, I don't know if you guys know who Grimes is. If you listen to EDM or, EDM pop, electronic music, she's a big artist in that arena, even though she hasn't really put out a lot of music since 2021, I believe. Actually, she did have some stuff in 2022, but, she's independent. She's been focused on other stuff. But she came out on the internet, and she's like, shit, the AI do a track with my voice with AI. If I like it, let's split the royalties 50-50. Let's take it to the next level, And I'm not going to say either approach is good or bad. I will give you definitely my opinion on which one is not the one I would have chosen, but that's what we're going to talk about. So before we do that, I put up a post. If you guys follow me on Instagram, if you don't, scan the barcode. That way you follow JC, Mixed by Gabriel, me, Music Vitamins, the brand, so you don't miss any updates. But I post about stuff like this on the daily, and I posted a few Instagram posts about this topic, and people are, saying things like, look, AI-generated music just seems like cheating. There's no authenticity to it, but people today don't care. Who needs musicians anymore? Some guy was like, this industry's not evolving by sort of embracing AI that is basically going to shit. And then I answered to him, I gave him a rebuttal, which I'm going to talk about next. And he's like, okay, true, but guess what? Because of somebody's creativity, now that, people have to work less, people are going to get complacent, right? And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but this is my take on it, right? Because I'm a big history buff. I have other companies that I've taken from nothing to, something. I'm originally from Eastern Europe, so the education that I received was much different. And I just think I have a different outlook on life, usually, or business. But this is my response to people that don't want to get on board, that are resisting this and thinking people are going to get complacent. I'm telling you, get on board. Don't miss out on this, but do it the right way. And the reason I don't think people are going to get complacent is because if you think about all the technology that has helped you guys create a track in 45 minutes, literally, I know some dope rappers that go to my studio in Maryland, 45 minutes, we got pretty much a mixed song ready to go, except it's not mastered. Dope song. But that took some evolution. Let's say it's an hour. In the 1850s, during the Mozart era and Chopin and all these classical musicians, it took them months to compose a composition, an orchestra. And they had to train instrumentalists, violinists, pianists, all these different people to actually play it before it could even get out in front of a very small audience. You know what I'm saying? So all the changes in the industry that grew the music industry as we know it today enabled us to make dope music technically within an hour if you're super good at engineering, producing, rapping, singing, whatever. Did that make people complacent? I don't think so. If anything, we've had more music than we've ever had in our civilization, right? We got, 75,000 tracks per day being uploaded to DSPs per day. It's going to be 350,000 in 2025, according to their estimates. Another thing I want you to consider, this is just perspective. I'm giving you some perspective so you don't fight change or you don't fight certain technologies because this shit happens all the time. Food production, right? 200 years ago, if you didn't farm your own food, didn't grow it, didn't have your own cattle, your beef, whatever, you're not putting food on the table. Are we making fun of people today or calling them complacent because you go to the grocery store and buy a TV dinner, throw in the microwave, 3 minutes, you got something to eat? So just consider what technology has done for all of us. So all I'm saying, in my opinion, I don't think it's going to make anybody complacent, but it is going to shake some shit up. I'm sure we can all agree with that, right? So going back to what Ghostwriter done with the AI track and all that, that's one way I would not recommend doing it, right? Because at the end of the day, could his 90,000 listeners that he built on Spotify, could they forgive him and be like, all right, this is how you got in the game? You basically took somebody else's voice, blah, 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 did this. Could he build a fan base off of it? Maybe. That's not the way I would do it, right? Because you're basically entering the game as a spoof or a fake, whatever you want to call it. Can you make a brand off of that? We've seen examples of people being scammers and all that, making a brand, making money. Again, if you want longevity in this game or any business, I don't recommend doing that. However, what Grimes is doing, why not? If she's inviting you to make a song with her voice, and as long as she approves, then that can bring out another artist that nobody ever heard of, or another writer that nobody ever heard of, or another producer out there that nobody ever heard of, because they took the time to learn AI, understood how to work with it, create the track, put it out, they got away with it, and all of that, and it happened. That's a better model. If you get invited to do something with the person you're about to use AI to copy, I think that's a better approach. So very quickly, so I don't waste too much time, I want to talk about some approaches that, whether you're an artist, musician, producer, DJ, a marketer, a business owner, of what you could use AI for. And before I get into that, I want to talk about the two main types of AI, so you guys understand how it's used. And there's, if you Google this, there'll be like 7 types of AI, 9 types of AI algorithm, but there's 2 main categories. There's the assistive AI, which assists you to be better, faster, more efficient, more profitable, hopefully, more knowledgeable. And there's the generative. That's what Ghostwriter used. He generated Drake's and The Weeknd's voice. He might have generated the whole beat with AI, and that's different. But I'm saying either one could be used for the good. It doesn't mean that the generative is bad or not, so understand both. So let's go over some stuff that artists could do. Again, if you're an artist, you can demo production and mixing way faster. Right now, what my man Justin is doing, who's on my team, he's training, first of all, the tool that we're about to use on his voice. He's going to train it on my voice, so we can have my voice as an AI, so that way I can produce more valuable content for everybody here. So if I write a script, I could just do a voice sort of post on my Instagram, and as long as I approve it, it can go out and sound just like me. Because the way I think about it, if I don't do it, somebody else is going to do it, and hopefully they might even use it against me, which is something we got to look out for. But anyways, that's something artists can be doing. Train the AI on your voice, create demos faster. You can apply, auto-tune faster on your track and whatnot. Image creation and content uploads. Image creation, we got all this AI, image creation stuff. Instead of spending $200 on a album cover, and you're not even known yet, and you're spending all this money on the product, just have AI generate something dope that you're cool with, put it out, accelerate the process, get the song out there, because at the end of the day, your product is the song, it's not the cover. You know what I'm saying? Content uploads. I'm telling you guys to post on Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, TikTok Reels, YouTube Shorts, all these different things. That's a lot of hours. The one thing that makes all of us in this room equal is that we have 24 hours in a day. That's it. So how can you be faster? Because it's impossible to tackle those without a team. Justin and my team that he leads is able to make sure I put out all those. I'm not putting it out anymore. Luckily, I built my business enough to where I put out a post every day if you guys follow me, and it's my team that's able to do it. Back in the day, I had to do all that shit myself. It took me like 3 to 4 hours a day to come up with the topic, to curate it, to put, so that's something you guys can do. And an AI artist creation, that's the generative part. You've seen an AI artist out there. Apparently, it was on TikTok, and it got signed by Capitol Records or somebody. I don't want to, say the wrong name, but there was an AI artist, basically a fake artist, that already got signed, apparently. So, hey, if you can't be a real-life artist, if you master some of these tools, maybe you can get into the game by being an AI artist first. That's on you. I wouldn't do it, but you can maybe do that. Writers, again, demos and production. A lot of writers have to team up with producers or singers to demo their projects, especially the writers that have the label connections that can get songs picked up. Again, AI can just make it faster for them, and they can come up with an original AI voice that can then sing the lyrics over a demo that they write or a production that they make, and they can bypass those steps and get their product to the labels faster if they have those connections. AI music creation, again, the writer can make the whole thing, right? Like, who's ghostwriter? He must be a writer because he wrote the lyrics. He knew the AI, he was the producer, you know what I'm saying? So you could do something like that. Producers and engineers, don't fight this. Me and Mixed by Gabriel talk about this shit all the time. This man is so good, and he's like, well, fuck, but how do I want to deliver his quality on tracks. And I'm like, you could do that, because if you train AI with your style, your flavor on how to mix it, not all of it, but like get 60% of the work done, he's more empowered to help you guys to get on the charts, just like the artists that he worked with that were able to get on the charts. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. You got all these plugins, and the funny thing is this has been around. If you guys use plugins like Ozone, whatever, like the automatic auto-tune, this shit's been there. You just select the preset, and a lot of times, 80% of the time is like going to be already pretty good if you're a singer or rapper, right? So it's been in existence. You just kind of haven't really paid attention to it because people haven't blatantly called it AI and like wasn't all over the place. Again, mixing and mastering. Anything you could pretty much do with a touch of a mouse or a move of a knob, especially on the modern consoles and all that, that can be trained and automated, whether you like it or not. So get ahead of the curve. Podcast editing. Right now, just this show, same with the show, we're experimenting with a preset for Premiere, Adobe Premiere, that instead of taking 3 hours to put this together in post-production, 4 minutes. AI will just chop it out, take out the breaths, do all the, like if we have 3 cameras, angles, it'll automatically choose which camera it wants to choose, blah, blah. So that's something that can be done. And again, AI music generation, that's the generative part of AI. Let me go through this quickly. DJs, you could be having AI automatically search for the same BPMs of a song, especially if you're looking for some new songs off of TikTok. Another thing, you can have AI search TikTok for the newest, hottest shit that's out there, right? We have many DJs up here, and I remember DJ Wala, I love what he said, when we asked him, like, how do you find the new songs that you then get to spin or, basically get behind? He was like, honestly, I look at my daughter's TikTok. Okay, so now right now he's got to do that manually. Maybe later he can train AI for certain trends to find these artists and he just reviews it at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? New trends, I already mentioned that. Song transitioning or full mixing. Just like when you have the same BPM, in Serato, the track and all that, you can train the AI very soon to do your own mixes. But again, to me, a lot of that I do agree, it will lose authenticity. Because part of the reason I love DJs, because it's that person doing it and it's their skill. So again, you either get on board with it or not, or you make the AI work in your favor and you're still authentic about it. You know what I'm saying? That's the best approach, I think. And then song curation and identification. If you think about this, I don't know how many people have had Pandora. That's been out for like 7, 8 years. And if you guys ever heard of the Pandora Genome Project, when you select the station that you want to hear, and it lets you hear other music that sounds that dope, and it's a different artist you never heard of, what do you think that's AI? There's been that now, but 7 years later, that algorithm is now available for free. So you can create your own playlist if you're a DJ to do that. Education and management company. So in my Indie Artist Accelerator, I started that in 2020. I've had lawyers in the music industry come through. My man Clinton Sparks, Wendy Day, all these different people that are in the music industry that come through and teach. Plus, I have 100 lessons, step-by-step, on how to do everything you need, from marketing to building your team to setting up your company and all of that. Plus, every week I get on there for an hour on Zoom and we talk about like anything. It's a live Q&A, live virtual management. So all that content has been on there. What we're doing now, we're about to have this ready in 2 weeks. It's going to be the biggest search engine on any topic if you're a member. All you got to do is type it, because every single video I've ever done is going to be transcribed, bullet pointed out. So if you want to know how to approach sync licensing, guess what? The 6 to 7 videos I've downloaded over the last 3 years, boom, right there. Just watch those clips. So that's what we're using it for. Information organization, education, content generation. Be careful with it. That's the generated part. I've been playing around with ChatGPT, asking ChatGPT about what's a good marketing strategy for an artist. It doesn't know it. My belief is because ChatGPT is only good as what's online. And as you guys know, what's online about music marketing and all that is a bunch of bullshit. Because labels, for the longest time, they don't want to give that information out. It's okay, I respect it. I'm a business too. You can't give out everything. You got to have some secret sauce, some proprietary stuff. But everything that's been out there, a lot of it, a lot of good stuff, but a lot of BS. So if you ask ChatGPT a question, if you're not an expert and you just believe what ChatGPT gives you, that's the wrong thing, right? So generation of content through AI, be very, 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 very careful. Marketing, faster campaign processing. We'll be able to get Instagram, Facebook, YouTube campaigns up faster because we've done thousands of them in our company. We know how to do it. We can upload CSV file, all this type of stuff. Market research, content editing and upload. I already talked about that. Legal and admin, anybody that's a business owner or basically a label owner, meeting transcripts, whatever, like when you're supporting a big artist on the label, and people up here will tell you when we get them up on stage tonight, there's a lot of people in the background doing a lot of fucking work, a lot of work. So how do you organize everybody? Through calendars, through giving everybody access through Google Drive or Dropbox and all of that. The AI can help transcribe every meeting everybody has on the phone or through FaceTime soon, things like that. Bullet points it out. That way nobody can say, oh, I forgot, or did we discuss that? Yeah, man, there's a fucking bullet point in Google Drive that said it. What happened? You know what I'm saying? It just makes everybody more organized. It makes you guys succeed faster, so don't fight it. Contract editing. When we had Ron Stewart up here from, God, I don't want to get the label wrong, but no, not Jeff, Warner. Thank you. Warner Music. Thank you. This man is a VP at a label that has 40 locations around this planet. Huge label. Their lawyers are already using it to check certain, I'm using it. I've written hundreds of contracts in my life for my other businesses, helping artists and all that. I can actually ask ChatGPT, look out for some red flags in this contract. I copy and paste. It saves me a lot of time, you know? And then mass distribution, of course. There's gonna be, just like you can distribute content, you'll be able to potentially write a script, distribute your songs through DistroKid, TuneCore, and all that. So anyways, I'm gonna kind of end it right there. Just wanna give you guys some ideas so we can get the panel up here. But don't fight AI. Get on board, adapt, because you may get left behind. Don't be naive about it, and do a lot of research, because it's going to get used for a lot of wrong shit. And I hope everybody in this room is not going to do the wrong shit with it. I'm hoping that everybody that's up here tonight and me, we can empower you to do good. So the whole ecosystem of the music industry just becomes better. You know what I'm saying? So do it for the right stuff, but definitely dive in. Just like the NFT stuff, even though that was a big bubble and it passed and it hasn't really done what it was supposed to, I was encouraging artists, just get your feet wet. I'm not saying don't spend your whole time creating an NFT project if you can't even sell a song on iTunes or can people to stream your shit, but at least figure it out. So when it does come back around the proper way, you're ready. You know what I'm saying?